The northern part of Kenya is one of the places in sub-Saharan Africa severely affected by the effects of climate change. Communities in this region solely depend on livestock as their source of livelihood, unlike other regions of the country that have the advantage of good soils and weather for growing crops. PlantVillage, through its long-term initiative of helping not only farmers but also pastoralists deal with the effects of climate change, deemed it fit to place officers called scouts in each of the 4 counties of the region to help pastoralists manage their animals, which frequently are hit by diseases brought about by extreme weather conditions and lack of food and water. Tyson, who is based in Wamba in Samburu County, gives an insightful account on what it takes one to be a scout in this region so much isolated from the rest of the country.
My name is Tyson Yasin, a PlantVillage scout working with PlantVillage in Samburu County, Wamba westward in a village called Dungope area. My main role is to surveillance of livestock diseases within my locality, and also to report on the impacts of climate change to the environment. We are 8 PlantVillage scouts distributed in 4 counties of Samburu, Turkana, Isiolo and Marsabit. That means each county is having 2 scouts each.
Tyson, who went to Mount Kenya University, says that challenges encountered by members of his community is one of the reasons he finds passion in his work.
I went to Mount Kenya University and graduated in 2019 with a degree in project management. And what motivates me so much in this work is that I was born and raised in the pastoral community, and I encountered so many challenges personally and also as a community at large. I have seen our community losing a lot of animals to drought. There's a lot of water challenges, and that motivates me so much to keep working with the communities and bring a desired positive change to the livelihoods of the pastoral communities living in this part of the country.
The setting of the place where he operates from is typical of a Samburu homestead. He lives far away from his mother's homestead and is only allowed around occasionally as per the traditions.
This is now where I live. This is where my family lives. My mother and my 8 siblings live here. This is our home. We keep our animals in that place you are seeing there is where our animals are kept, and this is now the dung that we always when we clean there, where animals live, we put it here, and this is now where our home. This is our home now. So inside this Manyata setting, we have one room where my mother lives, stays, and also we have another room for children and a small one for my father. But majorly the main room is where children, my siblings, 8 of them sleep, and but for small children they can be able to stay with my mother in her room. If you can see how the structure of the animals, it should be positioned in the center of the Manyata for security purposes, because mostly we have wild animals here, and the animals like leopards always attack those our animals at the night. So that's why you see where we put the shelter for animals is at the center of the Manyata for security purposes.
Him being a member and living within a community weaved together by stringent norms and traditions, his day is not like that of a normal Dream Team member based in another county.
Normally my typical day, when I wake up, I take tea and wait for around 8 to 9 a.m. because that is when most of the animals will be moving out to graze and others will be going to water sites. and I have a schedule that I know which area I am visiting tomorrow. So at around 11 or 12 is when I am now in the field, and if I'm not going for a water side that particular day, I will have to move to areas where I know majority of the animals have gone to graze, because they follow certain patterns, because you find that there is a lot of vegetation in one area and some areas are very dry. So I go out to those areas with the vegetation and interact with pastoralists there and ask them questions and interview them, and also check on the livestock, and if there are any signs of outbreaks, I also ask them about the history of the diseases, how they see the environment, also give them the greening maps and also precipitation forecasts that I have been given by PlantVillage. And in other days where I visit water sites, it's because that's where now I will get so many animals. Mostly there is a lot of crowding in the water sites, and also that gives me an opportunity to interact with the people, because most as they wait for the animals the turn of the animals to get water, I will have to spend a lot of time with them, interrogating and also asking them about the same questions that I always ask pastoralists. That will take up to, because some water sites you can actually stay up to 6 in the evening. Some animals can even stay for as long as 8 hours in the queue before they get water, and that is where I get a lot of time to also interview the pastoralists. So normally when I visit water sites, I will come early, I will come late in the evening when I am very tired, because it will have been a very long and tiresome day. Also sometimes in case a pastoralist calls me in the evening that there is a certain sick animal or sick animals, I will have to visit that particular manyatta very early in the morning or late in the evening, before the animals move out for grazing or after they come back from grazing, because during the day from around 9 to 5 p.m. it is very hard for me to get animals in their homesteads, so because all of them would have moved out for grazing.
His work is highly rigorous and professional. It requires a sharp and dedicated mind to deal with pastoralists who have little knowledge about livestock diseases. Attending to a sick animal starts with looking out for signs from the physical outlook of the animal, he says. This requires a keen eye with an expert view.
First check on the eyes, the gums, the teeth, and also here the lymph nodes, if the animal is having any diseases, and I check also diarrhea, and I take the temperature, and in case the animal is sick, I will now have to report in the PlantVillage Nuru app, so that the vets can take necessary action. Well, normally when I enter in a homestead like this now, for example, I meet the pastoralist who is the owner of the animals. First I interrogate her about if she has any sick animals within, or any animals that are showing symptoms. In case she tells me there are some sick animals, I can go to the herd and check myself if there are any outbreaks of diseases, and if there are outbreaks of diseases, I will immediately report to the county vets in Maralal towns, and if it's an emergency, they can call them right away and give them the coordinates, and they can come to this location.
Pastoralists such as Charlie Lesela from Ngari village find Tyson's work a tremendous support for their well-being and undying hope. He has been able to save a lot of his animals from dying from diseases through Tyson's help in coordination with community disease reporters and the county veterinary officers.
Wanakujanga kuelea wanyama kama ni mgonjwa, kama nataka kuasha na tibi, ndio wanasaidianga kuleta madaktari kuleta si madawa hapa. Akikuja kutembelea sisi kuangalia maneno ya ng'ombe ama nini, anajasa kwa hiyo simu yake maneno ile anauliza sisi. Akikuja kuangalia kama ng'ombe kama ni mgonjwa, ndio iweke kila kitu kwa simu yake.
This daily dose of willpower and effort is in itself rewarding. However, Tyson says the reward does not fail to come with challenges, some so devastating.
Okay, the main challenges that I always go through in this area is, for example, attacks from wild animals. There are so many wild animals, including elephants, leopards, and even lions. Like for example, last week I lost 6 of my sheep to leopard. So that is actually taking back the progress that I have made. Another major challenge is lack of network in some areas. You find that I can go and visit a pastoralist who is having an outbreak of a disease, but I cannot report instantly because there is no network in the area. So I have to travel back to some kilometers in order to access network so that I can call the necessary people who will take action. Another major challenge is you find sometimes pastoralists are living in areas that are mostly inaccessible, areas that there are no roads. So I have to take a motorbike and park somewhere, then walk for quite some distance in order to get some manyatas. Some of them are even living close to mountains, and this is mainly because they are trying to go and get the vegetation in the areas that are still having some vegetation. Also, most of the pastoralists in times of in prolonged dry seasons, many of them actually migrate to far areas, even traversing the borders of several counties. So you find that you can go to a certain manyata and there are no animals. You will be told that the animals have already moved to another county in search of water and also pasture. So that's actually one of the main challenges that we are facing in this area. You can only get a lot of animals in this area if there is rains and the area is green. So you find that everyone is now coming back and you can easily access animals. So those are the main challenges that I can be able to get in this area.
Despite the challenges, Tyson admits that he has more to be proud of, having served in his capacity as one of the organization's ambassadors in this region that requires thick skin to survive.
My experience with PlantVillage as an organization has been amazing, and I was able to, it was the help of PlantVillage that I was able to undergo training about livestock diseases and also the causes. I am now well equipped with knowledge about livestock diseases and various symptoms. I'm also equipped with knowledge about various drugs that are used to treat several livestock diseases, and I use that knowledge to advise the pastoralists about what they can do in case they have a sick animal. And pastoralists have been appreciating really so much. They are happy about the work that PlantVillage is doing in their pastoral communities, and most of them are actually very much appreciating the kind of work that I'm also doing personally, and that has been really amazing.
The life of Tyson as a Dream Team officer is a great inspiration that it takes a village to achieve something great.